What's going on, everybody? It's Nick here, and this is your second stimulus check stimulus package update video. Now, we've got lots of news to cover in today's video, but before we do that, I want to quickly invite you to hit that subscribe button below and turn the bell notification icon on so that you do not miss any of my update videos on the second stimulus check that's coming out very soon and the stimulus package. So with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's news. After months of back and forth over the next stimulus deal, on Sunday, yesterday, Republicans and Democrat leaders finally reached a stimulus deal. The $900 billion stimulus package will deliver much needed cash for individuals and businesses, as well as funding to get vaccines out to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. Specifically, let's talk about what the bill includes. It includes $600 stimulus checks per person, including adults and children. That means a family of 4 would receive $2,400 up to a certain income threshold. $300 per week in federal unemployment benefits for up to 11 weeks. It includes $284 billion in funding for a second round of PPP loans and other business programs. A provision making business meals tax deductible again, known as the 3 martini lunch tax deduction. Billions of dollars to accelerate vaccine distribution and carry out a national testing and tracing strategy. $25 billion for rental assistance. $82 billion for schools to cover HVAC repair and replacement. And the bill extends by 1 month a moratorium on evictions that was slated to expire at the end of the year. The incoming Biden administration can extend that deadline even further. Now, Sunday night, Mitch McConnell announced the new stimulus deal on the Senate floor. Here is what he had to say.
We can finally report what our nation has needed to hear for a very long time. More help is on the way. Moments ago, in consultation with our committees, the 4 leaders of the Senate and the House finalized an agreement. There will be another major rescue package for the American people. As our citizens continue battling this coronavirus this holiday season, they will not be fighting alone. At long last, we have the bipartisan breakthrough the country has needed. Now we need to promptly finalize text, avoid any last-minute obstacles, and cooperate to move this legislation through both chambers. So this is good news, Mr. President, but I need to close with one observation that is regrettable. From where I stand, from where Senate Republicans stand, there's no reason why this urgent package could not have been signed into law multiple months ago. For months, Senate Republicans have consistently supported a targeted rescue package under $1 trillion focused on the same kinds of policies that we've actually settled on today. As far back as July and all autumn, Republicans have consistently supported a targeted package right in the ballpark of this total amount with exactly the same kinds of policies in the mix. The package that will shortly become law falls exactly within the ballpark of what Senate Republicans have been proposing and trying to pass since last summer. This is eerily similar to what we were trying to pass last summer. Compare the shape of this major agreement with the shape of what I proposed all the way back in late July. Yes, some fine details are different. There's no doubt this new agreement contains input from our Democratic colleagues. It is, of course, bipartisan, but those matters could have been settled a long time ago as well. So why did it take all this time? We know why. We've heard Democrats say openly they were not willing to deal all summer and fall, but are willing now because they have a president-elect of their own political party. That's not my accusation, Mr. President. That's their admission. They've been pretty candid about it. So look, I'm glad we've gotten this done. My Democratic colleagues and I have had good discussions this past week. Both parties have a lot to be proud of, but I really regret that some on the Democratic side decided that partisan presidential politics were more important than getting urgent and non-controversial relief out the door much sooner to families who have needed this help badly. The progress of this past week could have happened in July or August or September or October. Senate Republicans were advocating for a package just like this one all along in real time. I just wish our partners on the other side had put political calculations aside and worked with us to make this happen a long time ago. However, with that said, I appreciate the earnest conversations of the past week. I want to thank the Democratic leader, Speaker Pelosi, Leader McCarthy, as well as, in particular, Secretary Mnuchin, who's been tireless in these discussions throughout. Both sides in both chambers have really stepped up and worked hard to get this done.
Soon after McConnell took the floor to announce the new stimulus deal, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House and Democrat stimulus negotiator, along with her partner, Minority Senate Leader for the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, held a press conference on the new stimulus deal. Here's what they had to say.
Let me just say this one thing, because I, from time to time, hear a question here, Mr. Leader. What took so long? What took so long is because we could not get our Republican colleagues to crush the virus. I couldn't understand it. Why would they not want to invest in the science that has told us so importantly that it required testing, tracing, treatment, separation, sanitation, and the rest? And when we had the bill and the HEROES Act, and even the smaller HEROES Act, because we reduced the time, they said, we just made a light touch on your language on testing. No, 53% of it to take out everything that referred to minority communities. Communities of color was so hard hit in all of this. And now we see why. They didn't believe in the science. What gives me hope is that in about 700 hours, Joe Biden will be president of the United States, bring his values, his commitment to America's working families to the fore as we prepare for additional legislation.
Now, while this bill is far from perfect, nor is it the bill that we would pass if Democrats had a majority in the Senate, it is a strong shot in the arm to help American families weather the storm. For the 20 million people who would lose unemployment benefits the day after Christmas, help is on the way. To the millions of small business owners who are worried their businesses would go under, help is on the way. To families struggling with less money, direct payments mean help is on the way. To people who might have been evicted from their homes because they didn't have a job and couldn't afford it, help is on the way. To those who need food because they have no money because of the pandemic, help is on the way. And to all of America who wants to make sure that the vaccine is distributed free and fairly and quickly, help is on the way. So this bill is certainly not everything we wanted. Our Republican friends stood in the way of so much, but it is a strong, strong shot in the arm to get things going. Unfortunately, the troubles are so deep, the abyss is so long, that we need more. And this is just a first step. This is an emergency. We need a second bill to continue dealing with the emergency and to start stimulating our economy so we get back to where we were. And that will be job number one in the new Biden administration. This bill is a good bill. Tonight is a good night. But it is not the end of the story. It is not the end of the job. Anyone who thinks this bill is enough does not know what's going on in America. The number one reason we didn't get the bill we needed was the Republican Senate. And Donald Trump just obfuscated the whole issue. A Democratic president, Joe Biden, will be able to focus the American people's attention on a Senate, the Republican members of the Senate, who are obstructing getting in the way of what they need. If Joe Biden says we need $1,200 checks instead of the $600, they didn't have any money for checks in their bill.
That's right.
Well, he'll focus on the American people. If we feel we need more money for unemployment insurance, he'll focus on the American people. And I believe the Republicans who have been able to hide under Trump's circus almost will no longer be able to do it.
And on that score, so many of you have reported that we have delays because of bickering. It isn't bickering. It's a big difference in how we meet the needs of the American people. A budget should be a statement of our values. Clearly, we have a different set of values when we're giving $150 billion to the wealthiest people in America to get the CARES Act passed, and shortchanging those who need money, who need the money more, and who's receiving that money injects demand into the economy.
One other thing we left out, what's not in the bill is important also. We succeeded in removing a nasty corporate immunity provision, which would have prevented even the most reckless employers from having recourse. And, of course, we allowed the Fed to move forward. The Toomey sabotage was undone. So it's not just what's in the bill, but what we got out of the bill that's important as well. So 3 things about this bill. 1, more relief than any bill but the CARES bill. Good shot in the arm to the economy. 2, lots of help for people in many different ways, which we've outlined. By the way, none of which were in McConnell's bill. Unemployment insurance, McConnell's bill, 0. Enhanced UI. Direct payments, 0. SNAP, 0. Rental assistance, 0. Transportation, 0. CDFI, 0. SBA grants, 0. SAMHSA, 0. COVID research, NIH, 0. Broadband, 0. His bill had next to nothing in it, so he is saying, you know, that this bill is close to his bill. Thank God it isn't. Thank God it isn't.
Well, to be exact, what he did say, which is amusing, it falls in the ballpark of what Senate Republicans had proposing since the summer, I guess it was. So it falls in the ballpark. What ballpark is that? But let me just say, to the extent that we can work in a bipartisan way, we're happy to do so.
Now, at the time I am filming this right now, the House has already voted and passed the stimulus bill. It is expected to go to a vote in the Senate later tonight, sometime before midnight. So make sure you hit that subscribe button below if you have not done so already, and turn the bell notification icon on. You'll definitely want to subscribe so you can not miss any of those update videos on the various topics with this new stimulus bill. So if you like this video, make sure to let me know by giving it a like. And as always, thank you for watching.